Hey guys, welcome to Tracie's Place. If you're an oldie but a goodie, welcome back. If you're new, welcome. I want to get into this video. Today we are living in a time where we're not sure if it's even safe to go to the grocery store and shop for your family. Every day the information just keeps changing on whether you get it just through sneezing or if you can get it just by being near someone and them just speaking and you being in their airspace. And these are just some tips that I have for you, and these tips I did use. So I'm going to teach you how to get to and back from the grocery store as safely as possible in these new times. Okay, so now that things are so detailed, I have a very detailed plan, and this I used yesterday. You guys, it was like a covert mission, I tell you. So I'm going to be looking at my paper because there's no way that I can just ramble off all this in a list. It is very detailed, okay? So because they want you to, they suggest that you wash your hair and take a shower when you come back in your home from whether it's work or just going to the grocery store or going, in and out of some place that, you have to go that day. So if you don't want to get that detailed every time you go out, there is a way to kind of get around that and still be safe. What I did was, starting with number one, to keep your body and your hair and different things safe from all the outside particles, what you want to do is have a plastic shower cap. And if you do not have a plastic shower cap, you can use just plastic wrap. And that's what I did because my shower caps were gone. I used plastic wrap. I just put my hair up and I just put some plastic wrap around my hair, and I put on a winter's cap. Yes, I put on just, a cap. If you don't have a winter's cap that covers everything, you can use something else that covers. But just a winter, almost like a skull cap type of deal, just something that covers really good. Do not take your purse with you. Instead, take your credit card and your driver's license or ID with you. Put it in your coat pocket or pants pocket if you don't have a coat on. Yesterday when I went, it was cold. So I was fine with the cap and all that good stuff on. If it's hot, I don't know how far this thing is going to go into summer or whatever. You could have, put all your hair up under a baseball cap or, whatever you can do that. Take a mask, your mask. I made a mask, so I will link it at the end of this video. So you want to take a mask and you want to take 2 pair of rubber gloves. Next, wear old clothes and old shoes if you can. I had on something I just wear around the house, something that does not see the light of day, but I had a coat on because it was cold here, so I was good to go. And sometimes if you don't care about looking all spiffy, you're going to the grocery store and these are dire times, and it's kind of not, I'm kind of over looking cute right now. I like to look cute, but it's kind of out the window right now. You got to do what you got to do. So wear some old clothes if you can. Next, take 2 to 3 big sheets of newspaper with you. I'm going to tell you what to do with that in a minute. Okay, what you want to do when you get to the grocery store, if you don't want to put on everything at home, right before you get out of the car, put your your hat on, put your gloves on, your mask on, and when you get out of the car, spread the newspaper in your seat. I covered this. I had 2 big pieces of newspaper. 1 big sheet I put on the driver's seat, and then the other part I put on the back, that I would be resting on. When you go in, shop as usual. You're going to have to touch your credit cards and different things like that. There's almost no way around it unless you have Apple Pay or whatever with your phone, and then you still have to touch your phone and get it ookie. So go ahead and shop, pay for your groceries as normal with your gloves on and everything, and come on out the store. When you come out of the grocery store, go ahead and load your groceries into your trunk area. Then take your gloves off, and I should have had did a little tutorial for you, but you have on rubber gloves, and you want to go ahead and don't touch the edge where your skin is. Just kind of pinch the glove right here, pull it off, kind of turning it inside out, and then you want to, with your clean hand, go inside the top of the glove, pinch inside, and pull your glove off. That way you're touching the inside of your gloves and not the dirty part. I learned that working in healthcare. Usually there is a garbage can by the cart area, and you can throw away the dirty gloves there, or you can just put your gloves on the floor until you get home and throw them away when you get home in the garage or outdoors. Okay, so when getting in the car, be careful to, kind of shift yourself and get in on the newspaper. Your inside of your car is clean, but you are dirty. So your steering wheel is clean. Your hands basically are clean because you have taken the dirty gloves off. So at this point, you can just go ahead and drive home as usual. Okay, now, so this is where it gets a little tricky. When you get home, you get out of the car, put on the second pair of gloves that you should already have in your pocket, and take your groceries out of your car. My husband had put a table out for me in the garage, and then on the other car we put some of the groceries. But there are groceries that you can keep in the garage that you don't need to take in the house right now. Now, the latest news that I heard was on cardboard, the virus can live for up to 24 hours. If you have metal, steel, or plastic containers, that will last up to like 3 days on the container. So you want to keep things in the garage like bags of chips, canned goods, different things like that are packaged that are, that can stay in the garage for a couple of days. You want to leave them in the garage if possible, in the bags. Okay, coming in the house, because they said that you can bring droplets into the house, the virus droplets on the bottom of your shoes and different things. So we have slides and different things in our garage. My husband gave me some slides, so I slipped off my shoes, put on the slides, and I brought the groceries, with my gloved hands, because they have been touched by your dirty gloves and then the people in the store when they were bagging them up. Someone bagged my groceries up for me. So you want to then put the slides on and whatever second pair of shoes you have, and use that to bring your groceries in the house. Now that you have brought the groceries in, what I did was I went downstairs, since the shoes that I was wearing I didn't wear them at the grocery store or anything. They were basically uncontaminated, so to speak. I went downstairs. I had clothes waiting for me in the laundry room. I carefully took off my clothes that I wore to the grocery store, put on new clothes, took off, everything, and basically decontaminated myself. After I took off my clothing and coat and hat and all that stuff, I washed my hands really good. I put the new clothes on and washed my hands really good, and came on back upstairs and put on more gloves and started with the groceries. I had a space on my floor. I just put the groceries on the floor, the groceries that I was bringing in the house, because they're freezer items and different things, milk, whatever you have to put in the refrigerator and the freezer, those are going to have to come in, and different things that you're going to use right away also. So those items you bring in the house, put them on a specific place on the floor. And I thought about putting down something, and then gathering it up, but I was thinking, I could touch, something. And so anyway, I just had a space on my floor. And then after you transfer your items to the table, you can sanitize your floor when you're all finished. So now, transferring your groceries from the bag to the cleaned off table, what you want to do is, with your gloved hands, because the items in the bag are still dirty. So what you want to do is sanitize your gloves. You don't have to put on another pair of gloves. What you want to do is sanitize those gloves. And this is just kind of tricky anyway. But sanitize those gloves with spray or either antibacterial wipe. And you are going to antibacterial wipes. And these are the ones that I made the other day. I'll link that at the end of the video also. And you want to wipe off everything that you have to put in your freezer or your refrigerator. Wipe it off and then place it on the clean table, because now the item is clean since you have wiped it off. Okay, so then you want to do that with all of your groceries. At the end, you want to throw away all of those bags. If you do not need to keep them, Because they're plastic, like I said, there's 3 days, I believe, that the virus can stay on them. They've been in your trunk, they've been at the store, and now on the floor. So I would suggest throwing the bags away. Now that you're finished putting away most of your groceries, you still have something to do. You want to clean these items. So you want to prepare them and get them ready. I had water in the sink, which I'll show all of that in a second. Also, I forgot to tell you, try to shop for 2 or more weeks if you can. I know that's hard right now for some people, but if you can, shop for 2 or more weeks. That way you don't have to make so many of these trips. But for right now, I have 2 more tips. Be careful when you are eating your snacks and different things you brought home from the grocery store, things that are in a bag that you have to get out of the bag to eat. Make sure you pour them out instead of reaching your hand in, and make sure you remind your children and spouse to do the same, because even though you're all in the house together, like I've been to the grocery store, and even though I was careful, there's still no 99 point guarantee that I didn't bring anything in. So you want to pour your items into your hand or onto a napkin and eat them that way. Do not reach your hand in the bag where everyone else has to get their food out of as well. Last tip, and this is off subject, but be careful getting your mail and your packages, you guys, because you don't know how clean the mail person is. You don't want to when you get your mail out, you don't want to start handling it right away unless you have gloves on, and you do that really careful. When you are getting Amazon, FedEx, UPS, and USPS packages, make sure that you have gloves on, or either you just let that package sit. If you can't wait to, open it up, make sure you have gloves on and be careful opening your packages. All right, guys, so now I'm going to show you how to sanitize your produce. And I've used my little trusty wipes that I made. I'll put a link to that video at the end. And these are the disinfectant wipes that I made, the DIY ones. And to sanitize the items coming in from the store before I put them in the freezer, you wipe the items off first. This is something I could not, of course, leave in the garage. So I am sanitizing the box. And the freezer does not kill viruses, as I have learned. So, things you put in the freezer, you want to sanitize them as well. And things you put in the refrigerator, of course. My gloves are clean also. So I will be switching out the towels in between, say like maybe every 10 items or so, but I'll constantly turn this also while I'm doing this. Okay, so I have most of I think all, as I was looking through the bags, I think this is all of the frozen things. There are a couple of things back there that are refrigerator items, but I have to get these items in the freezer. And sometimes people may say, you might be one, you may not be, you're doing too much. Well, I'm going to have to take a phrase from the kids, you all. You do you, boo-boo, because they do not know how it's transmitted. It keeps changing every day. At first, we didn't wear masks, or they didn't feel you had to wear a mask if you were well, only if you were sick. Now they're saying they may switch to everybody having to wear masks when they go out and glove up and everything. So things are changing every day. I'd rather be safe from the onset. I'm not operating in fear. I'm operating in faith and doing what I know to do. So do what you know to do, and God will take care of the rest. And here are the refrigerated items. I have them all wiped down. The milks, I just wiped down all around, the bottom, sides, top, the handle, everywhere. It didn't take super long. It'll take a minute, you guys, but it's well worth it. So now it's safe for me to get the groceries into the refrigerator, and then in a minute I'll show you how to do the produce, how to wash that off. Sea salt is used as an agitating cleaner, and the vinegar has cleaning properties. So in my sink, you guys, I have a little system set up to clean off the produce. So over here on the left side, I have sea salt and vinegar. And then on the right side, it's just clear water to rinse the produce. And over here, I have set up paper toweling on top of newspaper to catch the water, and then I'm going to also be drying with other paper towel. Some people use dish detergent for fruit you have to peel. I do not. So here are some of the produce items all bagged up. The kale, here's the broccoli, the grapes. I should have got some more of those grapes. Those are so good. Sweet and flavorful. But of course, I couldn't taste them in the store, so I didn't know how they were. But they are so good. Asparagus, green onion, and cilantro. And you want to put them in separate baggies, of course, Ziploc bags, and put a paper towel in. That helps with the moisture, getting the moisture off, and helps to keep them fresh. And then here are some of the other produce down in the crisper in the bottom of the refrigerator. And I also keep some fruit out. Okay, and overall, guys, there is no way that you can just ensure that you can just not bring anything home ever. What you have to ultimately do, and most of us know this, is you rely on God. God says that my people perish for a lack of knowledge. And when you learn something, when you know something, you should do it. You should apply it. And then that you don't know, what to do, you ask God to do the rest. Okay? So use your faith right now. Be in faith and not in panic. Trust in God. And you guys stay as safe as possible. Blessings. Share this video. Make sure you share this video so that other people can get this information, and give me a thumbs up. All right. Love you all. Be blessed. Bye.